What's going on, guys? Parker here, and I am back with another video. And today I got my top 5 NBA Prize Picks player props for the day. And before we get in this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up, because both of those things really help the channel out a ton. And I really would appreciate it, guys, as well as leaving a comment down below too, because those mean a lot as well. And then I like to get back to you and respond to comments for any questions or thoughts or anything you're feeling or want to say. Also, guys, we had another winning day yesterday, 3 in 1 day. So close to the sweep. Tyler Hero does not go over due to a blowout. Ends with 18 points, assists. He needed 20 and a half. He only played 26 minutes. If he gets his normal 35 minutes, gets those 9 minutes in the fourth quarter, I'd say he gets 3 points assists, which does suck. But, I mean, it is what it is, guys. 3 in 1 day, will definitely take it. I mean, obviously I had 5 props, but Damian Lillard was a DMP. And I think it definitely would have been a 4 in 1 day, because Damian Lillard, in my opinion, was 100% going to cash 23 and a half points. That line was just way too low for Lillard. So would have been really confident in that. And then what else was I trying to add here? We're now on a 13-5 NBA run. So we're on a pretty good run as of late, hitting about 70% of our props, a little over 70% of our props. And we're going to keep that going today, because I'm definitely confident in these 5 props today. They feel really surgical, and I'm really confident that we might have a 5-0 day on our hands today. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about Sleeper Fantasy. They have a free Tyrese Maxey square for you guys to take advantage of today. When you use code FF23, you'll get access to this free square, as well as an 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. It's code FF23. The link to that will be down below in the description. And like I said, guys, helps me out a ton when you do use my code. And Sleeper definitely has good value every single day. So it's definitely an app that you'll want to download. And the more sports books you're on, the more profitable you'll be long term, because that way you'll spread it out. You'll not overplay on one sports book or on one sports betting site, and you'll be able to be profitable long term. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into today's 5 plays. First off, I got Jason Tatum over 36 and a half points plus rebounds versus the Hawks. Tatum's over this line in 4 of his last 5 matchups versus the Hawks. He's over this line in 3 of his last 4 games. The Hawks allow the 3rd most points per game in the NBA to power forwards this season as well. So the Hawks definitely struggle versus the power forward position. This is definitely a matchup that Tatum should be able to exploit, and Tatum should be able to have a huge night against. Hawks allow the 6th most rebounds per game in the NBA to power forwards. So overall, this is just an elite matchup for Jason Tatum. This is a matchup that he should be able to exploit. He should be able to overall dominate this matchup from the beginning of the game on. And I'm really confident in Tatum tonight. I'm really confident that he has a big night. And overall, Jason Tatum should play huge tonight. So Jason Tatum over 36 and a half points plus rebounds versus the Hawks is my first play of the day. Next up, I got Donovan Mitchell over 27 and a half points versus the Wizards. So he's over this line in 5 of his last 6 games. The Wizards allow the 5th most points per game in the NBA to shooting guards this season, so the Wizards have definitely struggled versus the shooting guard position, and this is an ideal matchup for Donovan Mitchell, who has been going off as of late. And then the Wizards allow the 3rd highest field goal percentage in the NBA to shooting guards. So overall, Wizards, one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. They're a bottom 3 defensive team. Donovan Mitchell has been absolutely dominant and been on a tear for over a month now. He's been absolutely dominant. He should continue this play versus one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. Only reason this line is this low, it should be like 29 and a half. It's because he's gone under in each game versus the Wizards this season, but like they won by like 40 in those games. Like I'm just going to take the odds that the Wizards can put up a little bit better of a fight. Mitchell can actually be on the floor at least a little bit in the fourth quarter, and that'll lead to a cover. So Donovan Mitchell over 27 and a half points versus the Wizards is my second play of the day. Next up, I got Scotty Barnes over 34 and a half PRA versus the Hornets. He's had 46 or more PRA in both matchups versus the Hornets this season. So Barnes has been absolutely dominant in these spots. He's averaging 26.5 points per game, 13.5 rebounds per game, and 8.5 assists per game versus the Hornets. So, like I said, he's been absolutely dominant versus them. Hornets allow the ninth most points per game to small forwards. Hornets allow the ninth most rebounds per game to small forwards. And the Hornets allow the second most assists per game to small forwards. So, overall, let's think about that. So, let's break this down. Barnes has been absolutely dominant versus this team in both matchups versus them this season, going 11 or more over this line in each matchup. And then also, this team just struggles versus position in points, rebounds, and assists. Overall, ideal matchup here. Barnes should be able to have a huge night, and I'm really confident he does end up having a huge night tonight. So, Scotty Barnes, over 34.5 PRA versus the Hornets is my third play of the day. Next up, I got Trey Young, over 25 points versus the Celtics. If you're on a sports book, it's probably 24.5. PrizePicks, it's 25. Celtics allow the 12th most points per game in the NBA to point guards this season. The Celtics also allow the 7th most three-pointers made in the NBA to point guards. He's over this line in 5 straight matchups versus the Celtics as well, and he's over this line in 6 straight games overall. Trey Young, obviously one of the best point guards in the NBA. Celtics, one of the best teams in the NBA. They also, the one position they struggle to guard is guards, point guards. They struggle versus point guards. Trey Young has been dominant versus the Celtics overall in his career. We know what happened in that playoff series last year. Trey Young, the one thing about him, yeah, he's not the most winning player and everything like that. He gets up and plays better in big games. This is definitely a big game. This is definitely a game that he has marked on his calendar that he's probably going to perform well in. So, Trey Young, over 25 points versus the Celtics is my fourth play of the day. Lastly, for my fifth and final play, I got DeAaron Fox, over 26.5 points versus the Pistons. There's not much to this play. The Pistons allow the second most points per game in the NBA to point guards this season, obviously. Fox is averaging 27.2 points per game at home as well. It's an ideal matchup for Fox. He should be able to have a huge night. We know the Pistons are absolutely horrid defensively. De'Aaron Fox, yeah, he hasn't been as good as he was early on in the season. He's still a very, very elite guard. He still has a very elite matchup today, and Fox definitely should be able to go off tonight. I'm really confident in Fox. I'm really confident that he has a big night. So, De'Aaron Fox, over 26.5 points versus the Pistons is my fifth and final play. So those were my top 5 NBA PrizePicks player props for the day. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video and you do want to see more content from me, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below and give this video a big thumbs up, because both of those things really do help the channel out a ton. They help push my content out to more and more people, guys, and they really help motivate me and keep me motivated to keep pushing the best content for you guys every single day. And yeah, guys, without further ado, make sure to sign up for Sleeper Fantasy today. Use code FF23 for an 100% match on your first deposit, as well as access to this free Tyrese Maxey Square. The link to that will be down below in the description. That's code FF23. And then, yeah, guys, that's really all I have for this video. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. See you guys.